Here we go. Steve Tubbs here with X1. I've got my friends Alex Almonte from MAG Aviation, CEO, MAG Aviation, and the one and only Miguel Gallardo, president.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for having us. Happy to be here.
So,
X1 with the beautiful booth at the NBAA here in Orlando.
Know it.
You know,
incredible.
I remember 3 years ago when you started, you know, it just had just a little 10 by 10 with a little pop-up in the back, and you had the one little 32-inch screen TV, and you were like,
buddy,
this is what we're doing.
We're growing. We're growing and we're going.
Incredible.
So you and I go back a while.
We do.
I think it would probably be about 9 or 10 years.
Close now.
Back to when Flight Docs had a 10 by 10 booth.
Wow. Back to when Flight Docs had a 10 by 10.
It's old school.
That is, because now look at ATP.
Look at ATP.
I know.
Right?
A monster booth.
Right. And so they're doing good. They're doing good things. Software is still working out, but that's not what we're here to talk about.
Yeah.
We're here to talk about you guys.
Thanks, man.
MAG Aviation Group.
Yes, sir.
So you guys literally sell everything, right? There's not a service. There's not an anything you can't do. Talk to us about it.
Yeah.
What's the approach? What's your angle?
Well, 20 months ago, we started this thing.
Yeah.
And now we're lucky enough to have a booth here.
Yeah.
We have, I brought Alex on board last February. He not only brought on all his skill set and network, but he also gave us Almonte Motorsports.
Awesome.
So
what a cool like dynamic that sort of creates. Like cars and planes. Mm-hmm. Like, yes, please.
Yeah. Like who doesn't like, you know, boats, cars, planes, like it's all the things little boys love. Now as adults, it's the same thing we love now, right?
Yeah, dude.
So we got to bring it here as a great marketing tool. We partnered up with the NBAA. It's the 5th year that they're doing the top 40 under 40. So that
which you are a member of
in 2019. So what I did is I got them to send us all 200 photos of all our classmates, put it all over the car, and now we're having them come through and autograph it. So it's been a little bit of guerrilla marketing, but it's brought a lot of attention to the booth, which we really enjoyed, and we've really gotten to meet a lot of like the future talent of this industry, you know, which is huge. You know, for us, especially as a starting company, we want to have the best and most talented people, and to find the fit, it's a great idea to get them to come to your booth on purpose. So
maybe that's an interesting idea to stop and tug that thread a little bit. Like the next generation of young professionals in business aviation. Like the reality, guys, is that the baby boomer generation is moving through, and that's fine. It's natural. And the next generation's coming up, and with it, there's a lot of different expectations. So like, what are you finding out there?
They're so much smarter than we are when we started. They know so much more. They're so much more prepared, you know? The universities and the schools and even the A&P schools have done such a good job of prepping these kids to be there. I think the National Business Aviation also, with the accessibility of like, you know, we do the mentoring program and the YoPro program. These kids come into it with a really good idea of what they're going to do once they hit this industry, right? It's not like when we started, Steve, right? We were just like, okay, and we're learning anything we could possibly learn, right? We'd go out to the ramp and start being like, all right, what kind of plane's that? What kind of plane's that? These guys already kind of know all that stuff, and they're just, their energy when they're coming into it, it feels good to be around them. I prefer to be around that energy than, you know, the energy that was currently there when we started.
Yeah, I think there's a dynamic shift that's happening, and with it comes a lot of expectations towards, you know, in our case, better technology. So certainly happy to provide that.
Yeah.
But MAG, what do you do? What's your day? How's it going?
So
what's going on here?
It grows. The company grows. You know, it started off as a consulting company with just me.
Right.
My network, calling DOMs that I know and clients that I've known in the past. Like, where do you need help? Where does the ball drop for you? Like, you know, where can I pick it up? Started a little bit with business development. First opportunity was with Seal Aerospace. They had a parts company that was only internal, but they wanted to make that external. We came in, rebranded that division of the company, expanded it out, built out the team, built out the warehouse, built out the clientele, and we were in and out within a year, which was really, really nice. And that's where it started. Then we started teaming up. We saw that a lot of our DOMs were having problems with components. Some of the programs that are out there are a little less reliable, right, than a social network.
Sure.
So we used our social network to start sourcing these parts and components, which gave us like a different edge. So that started coming. So people started coming to us for stuff that they couldn't find anywhere else. That led us to getting really, really great contacts with people that are actually tearing down aircraft. So these are people that are going to perfectly good aircraft, bopping them on the head, and then just piecing them out and selling the components individually. which brought a savings to us, which we were able to pass on to our clients, and also like an accuracy and a timing that we didn't have before when we were using the other programs that are available out there. So the database that we built, we use a lot of technology on our end to make our lives a lot easier. So that's something great. If we can't do it from our cell phone, we're not doing it. Pretty much is what it boils down to in me and Alex's head. And now it's really friends of ours that are working for other people that are ready to move on to their next phase in life. And they come to me and they're like, Miguel, I'm thinking about starting a company. And I go to them, well, what do you want to do? And they're like, well, Diamond Santos is a great example. 15 years, tenured flight attendant, knows all these pilots, all these flight attendants. She's like, what am I going to do? She's like, I'm getting phased out of being a flight attendant. I have all these incredible networking contacts. She's like, do you think I should start my own company? I'm scared. I don't know what to do. And I was like, don't start your own company. We'll just add a division to MAG, and you could just do staffing through us and we'll handle all your marketing. We'll handle all that fun stuff for you. And that's how we've actually been ending up building our company and building out all the different divisions. So
by kind of saying yes to the right things, huh?
Yeah. Like I joke, it's like Thanos putting all the Infinity Stones in his thing. I don't want anybody that knows what I'm doing, right? I already know how to do what I do, but I don't know, we have a guy that his focus is just putting certificates together, MEL lists together. He was going to start his own company. Now he works for us doing the same thing, We had somebody that used to sell charters. And they were done selling charters, and now they sell charters under us because, and they all run their own individual companies. They just run it under the MAG Aviation Group flag. And I can't wait to continue growing that. Because there's so many little niches and little things in there. And then I get to look at my team like I did yesterday for the first time in our booth and look at all these guys together and be like, we did this. All these people are smarter than me in the perspective things that they do, And that's great. And then I have somebody like Alex on my side as the CEO.
So how's Alex coming? Like, how does this all happen?
So go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, come on.
I mean, basically, we provide people an opportunity to run a business. But a lot of people don't realize when they go to start a business is that there's a lot of things that happen in the background to be able to make a business happen. And when they're working for other companies, they might know how to sell charters or how to get flight attendants or how to sell farts, et cetera. But there's a lot of, government compliance stuff that goes along with that. There's a lot of having enough capital to be able to maintain bank accounts and maintain cash flows within a small business.
All those lessons that we learned super early on that we hope not to repeat, we try to help our friends learn from our mistakes.
Better to learn from someone else's, right?
Right, 100%. Right. We already made them, right?
Right, exactly.
Well, just to give you an example, in February, Alex came on. I got to the point where I was too busy to handle all the things that I was doing. And I started not being able to juggle all those balls. So Alex has been a long-term friend of mine. At points, we were competitors, but we had a very long-standing mutual respect for each other. And I asked him, I was like, would you be willing to take the leap of faith and be the other version of me, the West Coast version of me? And every day he wakes up and he hustles just as hard as I do. And I'm so thankful to have him on my team.
So what was life like before MAG for you? What were you doing ahead of that?
So I was with one of the, I wouldn't call them a network MRO, but they were a larger MRO, a Falcon authorized MRO. And I was selling aircraft maintenance. So I had I'd been in aircraft maintenance for 15 years, worked for several companies. So I built up a network of owners, operators, DOMs, et cetera, a network of people to call on, because that's basically what he and I did when we started out. We took our thick stacks of business cards that we have, and we just, every day you try to go through 40, 50 business cards and get as many people, okay, that guy didn't answer, I'll put him in that pile. Okay, this guy answered, this guy's looking for Gulfstream stuff, this guy's looking for Falcon stuff. And
it's funny, it doesn't matter what level of the business that you're at the end of the day, it's still the same thing, just networking, getting people to know who you are, following up on leads, doing what you're supposed to do. That's the crux of sales, you know what I mean? Just being able to be tenacious and follow up and follow up and follow up. And it has been great since February, having 2 times the amount of people doing it. So that's been great. 3 months ago, me and Alex found out that we're not so good at other aspects of the business, that we still need legal and taxes and accounting and things like that. And what we did is that we added another friend to the business, Stephen Leff, who came on as our COO. So that's how our company's a little been growing, is by necessity.
By need, right?
Right.
Sure.
Which is a great way to grow. So I would say the biggest difference, like you said, what's the biggest difference between your life before MAG and my life after MAG? I work a lot more now, than I did before. It was so nice to come to the show and just the booth be up and everything be in. Alex and I were joking on Monday as we were setting it up, and we saw all those big crates in the warehouse back there. We're like, you know what, Alex, our goal is that in a few years, some of those crates have our name on it, and we could just walk into the show and have it all set up. But for now, I love the fact that I have the opportunity to put the sweat equity in and just be here and be able to present my company and do what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's good. I have no doubt that you guys are going to have one of the big booths here before too terribly long. But in order to get there, you got to sell.
Right.
You and I have spent a lot of time talking about sales philosophy. I think that we're both firm believers in relationships and, leaning in as a trusted advisor. Right. I'm not selling you something. I genuinely believe in what I've got.
Right.
And I think it's going to help you. And if it doesn't, you can tell me I suck, and that's fine. But if it does, then I want you to tell your friends.
Yeah.
Because we're pals now.
Yeah.
I'm
I
a
tell
man of my
people.
word. So how do you execute that?
The way I execute that is I don't sell anyone on anything. I just network until I find somebody that has the problem that I could solve, and then I solve that person's problem.
Mm-hmm. That's a great way to put it.
And then that gives you the opportunity that every time you do network, that you get to tell somebody about that product, and then it gives them the chance to tell somebody else that has that problem about the product. So then it just starts becoming this thing where everybody knows. I would tell you at the beginning of the show, which was just yesterday, but it feels like a week ago.
It seriously does.
Because that's the way it feels, the energy that's been extracted out of us. But at the beginning of the show, I could tell you that maybe nobody knew who we were and what we did and how we did it. But now I feel like there's definitely something happening, and they're starting to understand that. Mm-hmm. That's the point of being here.
Kind of getting to that point where the glass is starting to tip. Right?
Yeah.
And it's all starting to kind of happen. And so I bet you people are coming to you guys now. And so that heavy outbound, your network is saying, talk to MAG.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
And
maybe that's your logo.
We've worked diligently.
Talk to MAG. I like that.
I'm an idea man.
X1 FBO.
We've worked really hard to focus and build a brand, around what we're doing with providing solutions for people. Part of building that brand has been doing things that are unique and outside the box. Miguel and I, early on, were doing a lot of talking about how, this is very much a network of people. And when people come together for that network, what happens at those networking events like this? Mm-hmm. The aviation industry seems to always be very heavy on golf tournaments. I think people are very tired of golf tournaments. Okay.
I don't like golf.
And there's certain people that don't play golf.
And it becomes a redundant day. Even if you do play golf, you go to so many of them, it's just a redundant day. Right. It just keeps on happening.
Right. So we wanted to find a unique way to invite people to an event that they would enjoy, that they would feel like they were a part of, and that would be something that they would continue to talk about for months down the road, because I don't think I've ever gone to a golf tournament and been raving about it afterwards. There's fun things that happen. Like there's been cannons that get shot at golf tournaments. That's kind of fun, But outside of that, we wanted to do something that was really unique.
Yes. Alex brought in, when he came on board, he gave us Almonte Motorsports.
Yeah.
And
I saw y'all's trailer in the parking lot.
Thanks.
Looks great.
Thank
MAG
you.
flag flying.
That's it.
More of that guerrilla marketing there.
The guerrilla marketing. And we showed up actually 2 days prior to the show just to be able to position it in a good spot so that everybody could see it.
Of course you did.
But nevertheless, the car has become its own part of our networking and part of our marketing in itself.
Y'all are the guys with the car.
Right, we're the guys with the car. A lot of people come to us and they ask us like, well, what's the car have to do with aviation? And the first thing I tell them is like, look at the sponsors. All our sponsors are business aviation sponsors. The reason that we do that is because what Alex was talking about before with the golf tournament, we provide our sponsors a venue at all our races to bring their clients. We have courtesy tents. We provide catering, drink, transportation back and forth from the track, access to the paddock, access to the garage, access to the pit, so that they can show their clients, and then so many deals have started to happen for us there, because people bring DOMs and people bring pilots and, it just becomes a thing. And it's been very, very good for us. It's been a great experience. Our sponsors seem to really, really love it. And that's kind of the way that we wanted to grow it. Just give aviation an outside of the box approach of thinking, maybe it doesn't always have to be this. Maybe it doesn't always have to be that.
We do, in addition to golf, not to supplant it, races.
100%. Yeah. Right. Because the races don't happen all the time, so that could be it. But outside of the fact of that, what I think outside of the marketing fact, I think the fact of what we do, Alex, is the outside of the box problem solving for our client.
Yes. Very much.
We figured out how to transport same day delivery anywhere in the state of Florida and anywhere in Georgia.
Yes.
And the way that I did it was, I think, super genius.
Don't let the industry know how we're doing this.
Well, what I wanted to do is that, I work with the YoPros and stuff like that, and I wanted to, kind of give back. And I meet a lot of young pilots that just don't have the money for flight time. Couriering something is just as expensive. So what we did is that we teamed up with 2 or 3 flight schools. We donate the money to the actual flight school for the flight time, and the students fly the parts for us.
Beautiful.
To give you a quick example, we had a customer of ours, and they were in Savannah. Gulfstream wasn't available to source the part that they were looking for, and we had student pilots fly it to Savannah in a 152. They landed in Savannah. They asked the control tower if they could taxi over to Gulfstream. They're like, why? And we have photos of these.
You're a 21-year-old kid. You're taxiing a 152 to the Gulfstream.
Yep.
That kid's going to tell that story for the rest of his life.
I know. And the coolest part about it is that even though they're not all getting hours, they pack this 152 down. There's 3-4 kids in this thing all the time just flying just because they love flying. And we get to donate that money to them, so we benefit, our customers benefit, and they benefit. So
a win, man.
It's a win for everybody. And it's honestly one of the things that we do the most that I really enjoy. Like it's one of the only times I spend money that I'm just like, all right, this is a good spend. So it's one of those things, the outside of the box problem solving that we could provide because we are such a small ship. Because it is only me, Alex, Steven, and a few other people that we can all sit down, look at a problem, flex it, and then come at it with a creative solution that'll work for everyone.
Lots of different unique areas of expertise to leverage into a singular industry, right? Like I know this guy, and I know one time we did this, and maybe if we tweak this just a pinch here, that'll work for that.
Right.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm super, super thrilled for you guys.
Can I ask you how you made out with the hurricane? Because I know that we both lived in Fort Myers for a really long time. Flight Docs was in Fort Myers.
Yeah, Flight Docs headquarters was in Fort Myers.
Yeah.
We got smacked pretty hard. My house flooded, so we lost most of our possessions.
Wow.
Sorry to hear that. We did, so how have I been saying this? We did worse than most, better than some, right?
All the most valuable things, your family and stuff like that.
Yeah, family's safe. We evacuated. We went inland about 10 miles to my in-laws' house. We're staying with them currently. For perspective, as a crow flies, my house is about 5 miles directly east from Fort Myers Beach, right? So Fort Myers Beach, as you know, dude, is in a barrier island. There's the bay behind it.
I know it.
And so as that eye wall was chewing, it was chewing.
I feel very fortunate because I had sold my house just 2 months ago, right there.
Do you know how to do? Do you know if
it is not a good situation?
Not a good situation.
Yeah. But my family's fine.
Yeah.
We moved everybody into high rises. We don't have to worry about that anymore.
Sure.
And, now it's just really, Alex and I are doing everything that we can to help our friends, support our friends. And, we've been putting supplies together and getting them out there and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that I'm trying to take the opportunity to talk about in every instance. Because here's the thing, right? Let me know what I can do to help you.
Right.
Everybody says that. And that's fine. And they mean it. And I get it.
Right.
But I have too much pride to ask for help. Everybody has too much pride to ask for help. You're just going to get in there and you're going to work.
Yeah.
So to anybody listening, if anybody ever falls on hard times, show up.
Just show up. Just bring something.
Show up.
Everything's welcome.
Right.
You know?
Chris Hine, who's behind the scenes right now, showed up at my house. Showed up. Work gloves, hammer, crowbar,
That's how you do it.
case of beer.
Yep.
So let's go.
Yep.
And we
we
started
drove
going.
over with as many 5-gallon cans of fuel as we could.
Yeah.
Water, paper towels, regular towels, you know, because like we were just thinking like what are people gonna need immediately
formula.
right now? Baby formula. We
Right.
did baby formula, we did socks. We bought like 6 or 7 pairs of socks. Because I thought to myself, like, I hate having wet feet. And I'm like, I guarantee you, everybody's got wet feet. So a warm pair of socks at the end of the night would be really, really nice.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
we just went to Walmart, loaded up the cars, and went over.
we were in there the day after, and I think it was actually 3 weeks today. What time is it right now? What do you got?
Almost 1 o'clock.
Okay, so literally 3 weeks, almost to the hour, we're getting crushed. And then so I guess 48 hours later, we're demoing my house. Knock on the door. 6-year-old little girl with a bag of hot dogs, cooked, ready to go. I've never seen that little human in my life. Her mama was in a minivan. They had the side door open. They had tons of cases of water. They had gas. Nobody knew who these humans were. They were there to help. And she's just like, here you go. And it was awesome. It was what we needed. Like, we're running on generators. We got no power. I don't know what's going on in the outside world. By that point, we hadn't seen anything. I didn't know how bad Fort Myers Beach was. The cable was out.
all
The
you could
power
tell
was
was
out.
out the window.
And the only reason that I knew it was awful, besides word of mouth, was because all of the so I live directly in the flight path between Sanibel Island, Fort Myers Beach, and RSW. So all of the rescue aircraft, so it was nothing but UH-60s and CH-47s and all the Coast Guard fleet running rescue operations. Skies were busy. And I'm thinking, oh my. And there was a Coast Guard helicopter that did a hoist operation out of like a very large mangrove area directly to the east of my house. Guy was out there, held a hover for about 5 minutes, and they wenched somebody out of the mangroves. Not in a boat, not in a car, not
Right.
just
A
this person had floated, and it was 24 hours later, and they were getting plucked out of the mangroves.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we had friends that had to go to their roofs and stuff like that and get out that way. A lot of friends that lived in downtown Fort Myers. Our house that we sold, we luckily were out of it, but it was only 1,000 yards away from the Caloosahatchee River, so it was not in good shape afterwards for those poor new owners. That
You know
got
what's
them.
crazy about that is my sister-in-law lives a couple of blocks away from where your house was. They're totally fine.
Wow.
Totally fine. I mean, their
Wow.
neighborhood's trashed. The oaks are down. The power lines are down. But not a thing happened to their house. There was no flooding.
Incredible.
It's just incredible. They ran 1,100 rescues in like the first week and a half. 1,100.
They rebuilt a bridge in 10 days.
This is unbelievable.
It's incredible what they can do when they put their mind to it.
Right, yeah.
You know? I just like, you don't see humanity until something like that happens. And then to hear something like what you said, a little girl just showed up at your door with 6-cut hot dogs, like, here, whatever you need.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of that, and that warmed my heart. Like, I love Southwest Florida. It's my home forever.
For real.
My daughters live there. They grew up there. And it was just nice to see everybody. And it's still, to this day, I think it's going to grow back stronger and tighter and better than it's ever been.
Yeah, the bond of community is definitely stronger than it's ever been, and there's a lot of help going on, and humans connected. My neighborhood specifically, a lot of people have a lot of resources, and I don't necessarily mean financial. Like it's in some cases certainly that's the case, but hey, I own an AC company. I know a crane operator. He's going to get here tomorrow, and we're going to lift all these boats out of everybody's yards.
Yeah.
So we did that for a day. And it was just, everybody just bringing a little bit to the table. And really what we're focusing on is the small little wins.
Yeah.
Right? Give me a little win. And it's going to be a series of small wins until we get to the finish line.
Was it the Towboat USA guys that were like, send us a photo of your boat, and if it's gone, we'll try to find it and bring it back to you?
I did see some.
They were basically going and rescuing people's boats when they were finding them and bringing them back to them.
Wow.
Yo, Rhiannon, of course.
Yeah,
Rhiannon everybody knows Rhiannon, right? Her boat floated up out of the canal, over land, like 3 or 4 blocks, and rested into another canal.
Oh, wow.
It went over land.
Sure.
I mean, the water was so high that it just went like 3 blocks, ended up in another canal. Some good citizen tied it up. And then they had her husband, Ron, had put signs out, this is the boat.
Have you seen this
missing
boat?
dog, right? Missing boat. And they get a phone call and went and got it, turned right on, and drove it home.
That's awesome.
I mean, it is awesome.
It floats. It's a boat.
It's a boat.
Supposed to do that, right?
There's many that aren't floating anymore, let me tell you.
Yeah.
But,
So what's going on new with X1 FBO?
Lots.
You got, again, the booth is
This is
impressive.
phenomenal.
Yeah, it's good. It's nice. You know, I liken what we're doing here with X1 to, you know, what we had started to do with flight docks, right? We're at this phase of growth where the industry is going, yes, there is a solution that I need and that is affordable and it's actually going to pay for itself and we can actually make this happen. And there's a realization as the generational shift takes place that we talked about earlier, where we need better technology. We're so underserved in business aviation, in our processes, not in our birds, not in our management systems, not in that type of stuff.
No.
But in the processes that support the movement of humans in these beautiful aircraft is so driven by paper, it makes me sick. Right? Like I bought a house on my phone.
Yeah. Financed.
Right?
Yeah.
And we're doing paper truck sheets in the trucks when we're filling up gas. Like, why are we doing that?
No.
Why are we not doing it on a device and sending that information right to the
100%.
desk? Oh, wait, we are.
But the thing is that, let's just to give you the flight docs, because you brought up the flight docs thing. 7 years ago, when we started, we were at the very precipice of that beginning, the industry was not ready.
They didn't want it. They said it would never happen.
Right, because and as you saw, that change of, as you said, the changing of the guard, right?
Right.
Everybody, we're the older looking guys. In the industry. You know what I'm saying? It's happening.
But
now everybody's so much more receptive to technology, use technology every day. Like Alex and I, like I just told you, if we can't do it from our cell phone,
don't want to do it.
We don't want to do it.
Seriously.
It's too much effort to pull out the laptop, do all that stuff. Like we have to make these communications and these things happen very, very fast. Acknowledge the client, keep on moving.
Well, and it helps you protect your business, right? Use technology to save a ton of time. And, you know, FBOs are customer service focused.
100%.
And if we can free those humans up to be looking at the customer instead of at their computer screen, entering data that should already be there, that operator has sent to that FBO 3 times.
3 times.
Then we're winning and we're allowing them to enhance their brand.
100%. No more clipboards coming out of the fuel truck, right?
Right, exactly.
Sitting there, just hold on a second. Let me take this $60 million machine, fill it up with fuel, and then grab a $4 pen pad and make you sign this receipt.
Right.
Yeah, that alone is definitely something that I see.
Right. So it's just about a continued maturation of the product. Like we're working hard. We got a big team of developers, some very, very talented engineers led by Umberto, our CTO, who's brilliant as they come, visionary when it comes to technology. And it's
Great having smarter people than you, right?
Well, it's not hard to do, but the technology is working, and it's been fun to see it in action and have impacts. And talking to clients here today and yesterday, and they're just like,
and I see more people taking onto it, which I couldn't be more prouder of you for it.
It's great, man. It's fun. It's a fun other ride, you know. And we got a long way we want to go, and we got a lot of customers out there that we're eager to have compelling conversations with.
I think that as time grows on, your product just continues to speak for itself. It'll continue speaking for itself. And you're just going to have more people taking it on.
Right on.
You know?
Right on. I agree. So we'll see you at the next one with bigger, better booths. How about that?
I can't wait.
I can't wait, brother.
I'm so pumped up for it, man.
Yeah.
It was a surreal experience. That Monday, me and Alex sat there at the end of the day looking at the booth, just being like, all right. All right.
We always have this running joke where we're like, all right, we did it. And then we're like, no, we're doing it.
We're doing it.
Right on. That's right on.
It's always a doing it.
Yeah, the grind is real, man. You never stop.
Yeah. And you got to take a second to pat yourself on the back. But when you pat yourself on the back, also pat yourself hard enough that it also pushes you forward a little bit.
Yeah. That's great.
I think I learned that from Rick.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
But I want to circle back to the race team again real quick and
Go
just,
for it.
and just talk about that really fast.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we do with the race team, with the sponsors and partners on board is, yes, everybody's involved in the aviation industry, but nobody steps on each other as far as what segments of the industry that they're in. So we have an AOG company on board, JP Aerotechnics. Shout out to Joe Peebles.
It's a one top 40 under 40 this year.
Yep, one top 40 under 40. Joe Peebles did. So he's an AOG company out of Georgia. We have other companies on board like Artcraft Paint and AC Shares Aviation Group and Ionic Air Care and
Yonder
West. And
Neil Capano.
Yep.
Another top 40 under 40 winner.
Yep. All those clients, sponsors, bring their clients to the track. They bring their vendors to the track. They bring their employees
Potentials
to the track, their potentials to the track. And all those people all do business together at the track, right? So JP's AOG clients are there, and Art Crafts, there. And hey, do you need a paint job for your airplane? Perfect. Or the Ionic, or Eric from the Ionic Air Care System, which we just signed an exclusive agreement with. I'm sorry, I take that back. It's not an exclusive agreement. We are their premier sales dealer for the Ionic Air Care System. Eric, through the race team, has also been able to get his system into the Gulfstream GSE catalog. We invited some Gulfstream people to the Daytona race.
That was actually pretty cool for him. They're like, what's this?
Yep.
And he just sat down, explained it to him.
Yep.
He's like, this should be in our GSE catalog.
Yep.
And literally the following week, he was in the GSE catalog.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So that's something that the races do, and we just hope to continue to grow it, I was telling this last night at dinner. We were sitting there, and I was like, this industry gives us so much more than a job.
Right.
It gives us so much more than a job. It's a community. I have friends. I'm family.
I think that's one of the things about aviation is that like people like what they say. You get into aviation, you don't get out.
Right.
Right. It's a passion. It's like everybody. If there's a bird that flies over the sky, this entire crowd will go.
Yep.
Everybody would look up. Everybody would look
Right?
up.
But normal humans that aren't
Yeah.
crazy like we are, they don't care.
Yeah, we're insane.
Right. So I don't know. There's just a
Is that?
whole
I
lot
think
of
that's
love.
what makes us closer, right? That we all understand
All a little
the
wacky.
craziness that we have. Yeah. But it's way more than just a job. It's way more than a career. It's you're part of a group of people, and it's a great group of people.
It really is.
Super intelligent group of people.
It really is.
And
Any other shout outs you guys want to do? Anything?
Who else can we shout
Any
out? Who else
plugs?
can we shout out? Oh, the Greg Hine.
Yeah, Greg and Chris Hine.
Greg and Chris.
Yeah,
These guys.
podcast, Southwest Florida Business
Southwest
Podcast.
Florida
Oh,
Business.
boy.
Yeah,
There,
these
yeah.
guys they're fantastic. This is my second time that we've been doing stuff with them.
We have our next race is October 29th and 30th
Okay.
at Sebring.
Yeah.
We have over 250 people that have signed up from here at the show to come and attend the race.
Correct.
And they'll be
You're going something there.
a VIP guest of the team. And, if there's space, they can sit up on top of the war wagon. They can put the headphones on, listen
They
to the
they hear the jargon all back and forth.
And it's endurance sports car racing. So the races are 8 to 14 hours long. So it's a full event. We change drivers over the course of the race. I'm one of the drivers as well. So when I'm not in the car, I'm out hanging out with, the people that are our guests.
Yeah, which is incredible. He races for 3 hours, then gets out and starts networking with our clients while they're at the thing. He's like dripping sweat. He doesn't care. He's got a helmet in his hand.
Sorry I wasn't here sooner. I was doing 140 around the track.
Yeah.
You might have seen me.
How fast do you go in that, by the way?
Car tops out around 160.
That's awesome.
Like around at Daytona, we'll do around 160. The car is going to last for 8 to 14 hours. So it's not like a fire breathing crazy, 900 horsepower car. It's, in the 300s for horsepower. But the races have 90 plus cars on the track. At Daytona, we were able to get second place in that race with 90 cars on the track. And we bring
You endure. Endurance race.
Yes. Yes. And we bring some really talented drivers to the track. So Stanton Barrett, Kenny Hendrick, and Mike Wallace drive with us. Those are all three people that have had fairly successful NASCAR careers.
Yeah, sure.
The people that come out as our guests enjoy seeing and being able to interact with people of that talent. When those guys aren't in the car like me, they're very much, they understand that the sponsors are what allows them to be there at the track as well. So they're phenomenal with our partners and with their guests. I mean, that's one thing that people always kind of rave about afterwards is
They're like, wow, we had such access to the whole situation. And we're like, yes, that's what you're here for. It's what you paid for, this is what we're, and people are always like, wow, you got pretty famous drivers racing for you. And I tell them all the time, I was like, it's probably one of the more expensive parts of our race team. But I was like, it's no fun having a race team if you don't win.
Yeah.
So you got to have the right talent behind the wheel to do it. So it is one of the more expensive parts of having a race team. But I could tell you that is probably the best investment outside of the safety features of the car and things like that we do. to have the right people behind the steering wheel. So we definitely do a good job.
Certainly.
It's really just about creating unique experiences for everybody involved, because life is about experiences.
Yeah.
And those are the things that we reflect back on, and creating that connection between the brand, between speed, and between a loyalty of clients is really what we're trying to bring with the team. And I'd say we're very successfully doing that.
Yeah. Oh, one last shameless plug.
Okay.
We have merch for the race team
yeah.
online. Yeah, all Puma branded.
Yep.
So you guys are welcome.
AlmonteMotorsports.com.
AlmonteMotorsports.com.
One more time. AlmonteMotorsports.com.
There you go. Yeah. All Puma branded BMW Motorsports stuff.
Yeah.
It's got the MAG logo on it.
Of course
you
it
know.
does.
Yeah.
So yeah, please reach out to the team, reach out to us. If you're interested in sponsoring or being a sponsor for the race team,
Yep.
please reach out to Alex. We are looking for a new primary sponsor for next year's season.
Yep.
So, X1 I know will be there in a few years for sure.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it.
I love talking to you guys. You guys are great.
So good.
Always such a good time.
Steve, man, the journey that we've been on.
Look at it,
so
brother.
far, brother.
That's
Look at us
unreal.
now.
Oh, look at us.
Look at us now.
Well, anybody
Thanks,
listening,
man.
give these guys a look. If you need anything, they
Anybody
can find
listening,
it.
give this guy a look right here.
Yeah.
X1, man.
Thank you.
Yep, you guys are doing it.
All right, look,
I'm
boys.
going to be proud of
Have a great rest of the
Thanks,
show.
man.
Thank you very
See you
much.
all around.
Thank
All the love.
Same, brother.
Y'all be good.
Same.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.